This is Ryan here, setthepacetriathlon.com, and I am doing another product review. What we're looking at this week is VPN, which is Barrier Performance Nutrition, looking at their whey protein specifically. So my wife and I and our family, we like to use a little bit of extra protein wherever we can. This day and age, kids eat cereal, and we like to sprinkle a little bit on there, and we eat different things, and it's just nice, convenient to use a powder to get a little bit more protein in, especially when you're busy family, on the go, lots of stuff going on. So it's something we use, incorporate. We use several different brands. So I stumbled upon BPN and wanted to try them out. We went through Amazon Prime and just ordered some up. So we've tried the peanut butter chocolate flavor, and now we've got the milk and cookies flavor. We'll probably go with vanilla next, so that gives you a little indicator for still using the product. We'd probably recommend it. But diving into it a little bit, so I'll show you a couple little videos I put together of just different times I've used it. Personally, I use it for my overnight oats. So I use protein powder and then old-fashioned oats, rolled oats, and put them in there, and put in a couple other different things, and put them in the fridge overnight, and that way it gets the oatmeal kind of nice and tender and squishy and all that, whatever you want to call it. But overnight, and then in the morning, I use it for my breakfast, and I drink it, and it's almost akin to kind of a smoothie type situation. But it's really convenient, really saves time on trying to fix a meal, a breakfast, even a bowl of cereal. Just kind of takes too much time, not to this day and age in our family. But it's something on the go. I can grab it out of the fridge when I'm done working out in my pain cave, kind of drink it, and taking a shower, getting ready, doing other things, getting the kids ready. So I don't have to be sitting at the table and eating a bowl of cereal or something like that. And maybe that's a bad take on society these days, where we're always in a hurry and we're always looking for ways to save time. But personally, for me, eating, I don't really like to spend a bunch of time eating unless we're going out to a family meal or something like that, or a meal with friends or family or something like that. So if I can get something quick and it gets me what I need, that's what I go with. So overnight oats. And I also do in warm oatmeal, so I'll just cook some old-fashioned oats, put in protein powder, put in some spices, some cinnamon, put in a little bit of stevia to sweeten it up just a little bit. Whereas part of this is it is a little bit more sweet, and we'll kind of get into that. So you may not need stevia or anything like that. And then I mix in a little PB Fit peanut butter powder, and I mix in a little bit of just regular creamy peanut butter. And it's something I use for snacks, or even if I'm in a kind of rush, I'll use it for a meal, maybe a quick dinner. If we got something with the kids we need to get out of the house quick, it'll hold me over. So something like that. So I've used it off and on. Like I said, we've gone through a whole tub of the chocolate peanut butter powder. We are currently working through the milk and cookies. Peanut butter powder, peanut butter and chocolate. I liked it. I use chocolate flavors anyway in my overnight oats, so it mixed right in pretty good. It's a little bit interesting. For me, I was fine with it for overnight oats, for regular oatmeal. Sometimes I sprinkle in my cereal just to try it out. Maybe not cereal if it's chocolate's not part of the flavor, but maybe possible. I tried this a little bit and it works pretty good. So maybe if you want to sprinkle a little bit on your Cheerios or something like that, that's something you could possibly use. But it's a little bit powdery, so it's a little bit hard. It doesn't exactly absorb in the greatest, so you have to mix it in pretty good to make sure if you're doing something like mix it in with your cereal. Overnight oats, you should shake it up and you're pretty good, and it doesn't clump up too bad. But you just got to be careful. It's a little bit. It's not as granular as other powders we've used. It's a little bit more, I'd call, fluffy. So it's a little bit harder to stir in. It wants to spill out everywhere and kind of puff up and powder up. So you got to be a little careful when you stir it in. So as far as using it, it's pretty good. They come with measuring cups in there. So just one serving, and you got 130 calories, saturated fats 1 gram, total fat 1.5 grams. Total carbs, 3 grams in one serving, which is pretty good. I mean, if you're looking for a low-carb solution, that's pretty good. So you look down at the protein, you get 25 grams of protein. So 3 grams, or 1.5 total, that's fat, I'm sorry. 3 grams of total carbs, and then you get 25 grams of protein. I mean, that's pretty good, and 130 calories. So that's a quick source, if you're looking to up your protein. Maybe you're training for an Ironman, or you're doing some strength training or whatever, and you need a little bit more protein in your diet, and you're just tired of trying to get it in with fish and chicken and just other sources of straight protein. This is a good option for you. So it's lower calorie, and get a little bit more protein bang for your buck and a little bit less caloric intake. So it's a good trade-off. Like I said, it tastes pretty good for me. I didn't have any problems with it. My wife, on the other hand, she's not as much of a fan of the milk and cookies. She said that it's actually a little bit too sweet for her. So just be aware of that when you're out there buying them. They got several different flavors out there. They got standard vanilla and chocolate and stuff like that. But just be aware on the other flavors. Maybe you want to get a smaller tub if you can, just to try to check it out and taste it and see how it goes. But overall, I haven't had any like GI issues with it. Like I said, I use it for my morning breakfast. It keeps me pretty satiated until like 10 o'clock when I might have another snack, or if I'm kind of in a hurry or something's kind of taking up my day and I can make it through to a lunch or like that. I'm really not like starving by the time if noon rolls around. I'm doing a lunch and I haven't had a snack in between, so it really doesn't hit me as far as leaving me hungry later on or in a quick time frame. And like I said, I've mixed it in several different things, so it's kind of a nice go-to option. It's a little bit pricey, if you can see in the background. Amazon Prime right now, they're listed at $39.99 a tub. So if you got Prime, you get it for free shipping. So that's kind of a nice bonus and a perk that they're on Amazon Prime. You get it for free shipping. But I think if you order so much directly through their website, you get free shipping as well. So it's not a huge savings necessarily, but it's available everywhere. Like I said, I think it's a good combination of what your utility of what you're using to get more protein in your diet, and then you got a good flavor option, and then they've got multiple options, like I said, for flavor. So if you find one and you like the consistency of the powder, like I said, it's a little bit fluffier than what I'd be used to. You probably can't see that in the video, but we're gonna open it up and you can kind of look in there, and it smells like cookies and cream. But there's little bits of, I guess, what looks like cookie in there. So this is a little bit different. But like I said, it's a little bit fluffier, not as grainy as I would expect of the protein powders. But like I said, I mean, I'm gonna put a link up in the review. We use it, and we're still ordering it. So if it's still coming Amazon Prime to our doorstep, then it's obviously something we would recommend. So I would go ahead and recommend this protein powder. Like I said, we used other kind of vegan powders and stuff like that, and it's a little bit sweeter on the sweeter side, especially the milk and cookies flavor. So just be aware of that. You may get something a little bit sweeter if you're looking for something a little less sweet. Maybe try one of the flavors. Like I said, the peanut butter and chocolate wasn't as sweet, but if you got a combination in your house, people want sweet and people want not so sweet, you can get a little bit of stevia and kind of flavor it up. But other than that, it's something that, like I said, I would recommend. I mean, you're getting, like I said, 25 grams of protein, and you're getting the whey protein, and it's there, and it keeps you satiated and kind of delivers what you need, and it's only 130 extra calories. So if you put it in your oatmeal, you put it in your overnight oats or something like that, it's a good, solid supplement in there to get you through your day, get you more protein if you need it. Especially, like I said, if you're doing extra strenuous work, you're into CrossFit, you're working your muscles pretty good, you're bodybuilding, strength training, Ironman training, 70.3 training, just anything intense on a consistent basis. I think this is a good product that you can use, put in your cabinet, and break out and apply into your other meals and help you out. Like always, if you have any questions about them, you want any other pictures or anything like that, just let me know. Put it in the comments, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Have a good day.